Hey guys, today we had the campfire chat for the mid-season update for the Season 6 of Diablo 4 with the Vessel of Hatred. And I haven't watched it. I don't know what they announced, what they did, because I was working. I got off of work and I said I am going to watch it just with my voice. But there is no way in hell I watched the whole campfire chat for this, so I said I am going to watch a summary, and in my opinion, the person that does the best summaries always for these things, at least to my taste, is Rax. So we are going to watch the Diablo 4 mid-season campfire chat summary by Rax, my dude. So let's see what they announced, and of course, after I see what they said, I will give my opinion on it. So let's see.
Let me do an update on what they said, and then I'll give you my opinion. So
that is also cool. That is also why I like Rax updates too, because he gives his opinion. He usually has good opinions about the game, and then we can also discuss what he says about it, even better than just watching the campfire chat or the notes written down, right?
The mid-season is going to be released next week. We're going to get the patch notes later. We don't have the patch notes now. The live stream for they're going to have a campfire for Season 7 PTR next week. They said that one's going to be a lot bigger than the campfire chat that we just had.
Okay, so they will have just 1 week after another campfire chat. That is cool. That is fine. I am fine with that. So we will know what Season 7 is going to be about next week. More content. I don't know.
It'll have all the new stuff for Season 7. We'll see what's going to happen. It's going to happen after Thanksgiving. Then they said that they're very focused as a team on tightening up what they already have made. I guess to me that's bad news, because I think Diablo 4 really lacks a lot of things still. I think we really lack.
I completely agree with what Rax is saying here, but I also agree with them. I agree with both, because you can do both. You can do both. I know there are people that are going to say, no, you have opportunity cost and you have limited resources and you can do everything at all times. Bro, the Diablo 4 team has been confirmed to be the biggest team in Blizzard, even bigger than the WoW team. They have the resources by being Activision Blizzard, bought by Microsoft. It was leaked that Diablo 4 is the highest selling game or money making or whatever, I don't know, for Blizzard. There is no way in hell you can't allocate a small team to focus on what is existing in the game. This thing that they are saying here, Blizzard is focused on tightening what they have, and then the bigger team is focused on new stuff. You can definitely do this. You can definitely do this, because there are things that need improving. Masterworking need improving. Tempering needs improving. The Paragon board needs improving. The skill tree needs improving. How I said in some days earlier, bosses need improvement, the pit needs improvement, a lot of this needs improvement. So I agree that they need to tighten up those things, but I also agree with Rax. Diablo 4 is an incomplete game. We need more stuff. What made PoE so awesome is that they always were adding new cool stuff. Diablo 4 doesn't have a real end game. The pit is just whatever. It is the best game. Well, I like the Undercity mod. I think the Undercity is really cool, but it is not really the place where you go to test your build. The place you go to test your build is the pit, but you are not really testing anything. Bosses are stupid, are non-existent. The Dark Citadel is cool, but it has the same problem. You just one-shot everything. The way they avoided the one-shotting was with making immunities, but still you one-shot. Just not the immunity, but you one-shot the part of the health bar that you can one-shot. So it needs more endgame. You are not really playing endgame, but those systems also need improvement. So there is a compounding effect of things that need fixing. The problem here is that when they say this, it is like they don't know this thing that I am saying in here, and they are the first group of people that should know this. Maybe I am overextending a video that is just like for a first reactions about the patch, and I should save all these opinions about how they handle the game for a different video, just talking about how I feel the team is handling the game. Because but I will say quickly in here that I feel like the underlying philosophy of how they address the game or how they engage with the game to make changes is a complete disconnect of what the player base is thinking should happen. They are focusing on other things that it is not what we want them to focus and stuff like that. And when they do focus something that we want them to focus, they do it in not the way that, not necessarily the player wants, because sometimes a player is asking for something that shouldn't be like that. The developer has to have the insight to give the players what they need, not what they want, but they also don't give us what we need. So they don't give us what we need and they don't give us what we want, so we end up in a worse place. I will make a separate video talking about this thing, about how I think they are handling the game and the mistakes I think they are making. Of course, I don't know everything, but it will be my perspective. But for now, let's focus on the Campfire Chat. But in summary, for me, this point, Blizzard is focusing on tightening what they have, is correct in a little bit, because there are stuff that needs improvement, but you also have to focus on new stuff. This makes me think, the way they have been handling the game, this makes me think that they are going to neglect new stuff to try to fix all the stuff, and they are also not going to actually fix it, because that is the way they have been handling the game. So it makes me not hopeful, let's say it that way.
A lot of crafting. I think we really lack
crafting,
a lot of
that is
end
a good
game,
point.
among other things.
I said end game, he said it too, cool.
If we're just going to be tightening up everything that...
But I didn't think about that. The crafting thing is really important. Apparently, they don't want to have an overcomplicated crafting system, but I think they could use a crafting system where you can take a blue item or a yellow item and interact with it in some way and make it a good item, right? And it can be in a deterministic way, because right now Diablo 4 is completely based around luck. Or you get the greater affix or you don't get it, or you get the max aspect or you don't get it. If we can get a yellow item and interact with it in some way, by farming something, a material, by trading a material, by killing a boss that gives me a material, doing something, and I can little by little take this item in a semi-deterministic way or deterministic way to the place I want to take it, it will be awesome. And it will be crafting, it will be a great system, people will love it, and you know that if you do this, you are going to get the item. Not right now that you grind, and it is impossible to get the item. I know that RPG people says, no, that is RPG, you have to grind with the hopes of getting. Brother, the thing is that it has to be attainable. You have to know that if I kill this dude 100 times, I am going to get it. Ancestral items right now are not like that. Greater affixes and max aspect right now are not like that. They are basically impossible. If you do the math, the probabilities of getting it are insane.
We already have. It will be making the game better, but is this going to be the giant Kickstarter that we need to really take Diablo 4 to the next level? It certainly doesn't sound like it.
No.
I really hope that this the stream next week does this for us, but it doesn't sound like that's what we're going to get based upon what...
That is what we have to hope, that next week with Season 7, they announce something insane for Season 7. Like, Season 7 is going to be insane. That is what I hope, because I've been liking a lot Season 6, The Vessel of Hatred. You guys know that I've been liking it. I have my criticisms towards the game, as I have been saying during this video, but I have enjoyed this season a lot. Obviously, there are always problems, but I have enjoyed it a lot. But the reception amongst the player base to the Vessel of Hatred expansion was lukewarm. We know there are people that like it a lot. We know that we have people that didn't like it a lot at all, and we know we have people that are like indifferent. Yes, it was fun for a while. I did the campaign, I did that, and I moved on because the game doesn't have much to offer. So the reception to the expansion wasn't really good. So if after an expansion that it was a paid expansion, you release another season and the season sucks, this destroys a lot of momentum for the game. That it has been gaining momentum, because season 4 was kind of well received because it brought the itemization changes, but didn't have a season theme, so it kind of sucked in that part. Season 5 was well received, and now season 6 is like so. You need a good season, right? you will kill all the momentum if Season 7 sucks. And at this point, we have over like 1.5 years after the release of the game, we paid $60, $70, I don't remember, $60, $70 for the base game, and then we paid $40 for the expansion. So we are at least, if you didn't buy like extra editions, unlimited editions, or whatever, at least $100 off this bitch. At least. And we are in the state this game should have launched the first time when it launched over 1.5 years ago. This should be the starting point. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you.
They said in the mid-season, they said they're not nerfing the Spiritborn and they're bringing the other classes up to the level of.
I knew this was going to happen because people don't want the Spiritborn to get nerfed, because everybody has been playing the Spiritborn. Everybody wants to keep playing the Spiritborn. You nerf the Spiritborn, they are pissed off. So it was obvious this was going to happen.
Of a bug-fixed Spiritborn. I think this is probably their best. They asked me my opinion on this a few weeks ago, and this is exactly what I told them to do. And here's why. If you nerf the Spiritborn mid-season, right now, all the casual players who are enjoying the Spiritborn and they've invested all of their time into one character, maybe they're a master working level 6 and they've been following the Maxwell guide or whatever, if all of a sudden that you nerf it, they are not going to forgive you for that. They're going to hate you for that.
Exactly.
And you didn't nerf, as they said, Ball Lightning in Season 2. You didn't nerf Lightning Spear in Season 5. You just let it ride, and people like feeling overpowered. It does suck for the other classes, though, because comparatively, the other classes suck now compared to the Spiritborn. That's the bad.
It only sucks if you play both. But what I do, you guys know that I normally try to not play the overpowered build of the season. So in my little ecosystem, I am not saying you should do it this way. I am saying I play this way. In my little ecosystem, where I just play normal builds, I can switch it up between classes and I don't feel like I am losing that much power. And I find different cool builds to play. I didn't even play a Spiritborn this season. Not one build. I don't have a level 60 even Spiritborn. So I didn't feel the difference between, let's say, a Spiritborn or a Necro. I started directly with a Necro and I had a blast. So I don't feel this disparity between classes. So some people have said that they played the Spiritborn and then when they completed their character, they went to play another class and it felt so underpowered that they stopped playing right there. That didn't happen to me because I didn't feel that disparity because I never played the overpowered class. I am not saying you should play this way, because what should happen is Blizzard designing the game where you don't have this class disparity. I am just saying that I had to design a system where I don't play the overpowered crap, so I had to avoid it, which is obviously not the way it should be. The way it should be is don't have the class disparity in the first place. It is impossible to have perfect balance, but it is possible to have a relatively cool balance, right? For example, outside from the Spiritborn, all the other classes feel relatively close to power. Yes, the Necromancer is the best one with difference, but it is not something insane. It is relatively close. So the Spiritborn is an outlier.
Bad part. But the problem with the Spiritborn mostly is bugs. It's not that if you took out all the bugs that the Spiritborn would still crush every class. I still think they would be the best class, but it wouldn't be by nearly as much. So the fact that they're letting it ride,
let's be honest, guys. The Spiritborn is not suffering; is enjoying. Let's say it that way. From a design perspective, they focus all their effort on just designing this one class. So this one class, you could say, is over-designed. I don't know if that term actually applies in here, but let's use it just for the sake of the argument. It is over-designed, so in comparison, just at the base level design of the class, it just crushes everything else. And that is the truth. So even if you remove the bugs, the Spiritborn is still a better class in concept than the other classes.
I think it's the best situation for the really casual players. It sucks for the blasters who are sick of just hitting for 20 trillion damage, but it is what it is. Bringing the other classes up to the bug fix level of the Spiritborn would put them in a good position for Season 7, and we went through here and saw what they're going to do. They said there's going to be more than this, but essentially, Barbs are getting their core skills buff, Druids have their key passives, Necros, their basic skills. I don't really know of any basic skill build for Necros, but maybe this will create one. Rogues, core skills, and key passives. So Victimize is getting buffed. This has been the $1 million question for Rogues for a long time. Victimize was like the greatest thing ever, and then it was terrible. And then it was the greatest thing ever on the PTR, and then they nerfed it. Now they're buffing it again. It's like severe whiplash over.
I don't have extreme opinions about this. Yes, buff, debuff, whatever. It doesn't matter at this point. Let them do whatever they think is cool. But I have to say that normally they also, the way they attack buff and nerfs, normally, usually in the past seasons have also been kind of bullshit. Like they don't know what they are buffing or nerfing, not by the amount that they are buffing or nerfing. They just do random crap that inevitably shakes up the meta, which is cool because you are modifying stuff. But it seems to me as a player that it's just random changes, like arbitrary amounts. They target arbitrary things that we don't know why. Like people want a specific ability to get buff and it is ignored, and an ability that appears to be fine, they modify it. It is, I know they have their internal testing, and if only 1% of the player base are picking this talent, so there must be something with this talent. So sometimes they are too data driven and they don't have a feel for the game. Sometimes they do it the other way. I don't know.
Here, key passives for sorcerers, and Spiritborn is just getting the skills buff that nobody ever uses. And they're buffing a ton of bad legendary powers and uniques. I don't know if this is going to be enough to make everybody super excited to log into the mid-season event.
It won't.
But I guess at a minimum, it's going to make things better in Season 7. They're going to buff unused rune words. They're going to buff the shrines so they scale with you and your Paragon level. They specifically called out the Conduit Shrine.
I will say this, and I don't know if some people will be mad at me. I think shrines are stupid. And not in Diablo 4. In every Diablo. In Diablo 2, they were stupid. In Diablo 3, they are stupid. In Diablo 4, they are stupid. Shrines are stupid. People that go into the pit and try to hunt for a good shrine to help their kill their clear their whatever to clear a higher pit because they got lucky and they go in and out of the pit trying to get a good shrine. That is a stupid gameplay. I don't like the fucking shrines. And yes, the Conduit Shrine was the worst offender. I know that some people like the shrine. That is fine. I don't want to remove your phone. I am just saying my opinion. I don't like the shrines. I am fine with them being in the game. I don't care. I don't like them, but I can play the game with them existing. So I don't want to remove your phone. And I am just stating my opinion. And yes, the Conduit Shrine was the worst offender because it doesn't let you play your build. It turns you into another fucking thing. And on top of that, the another fucking thing doesn't do any fucking damage. So, of course, this needed a buff. So, he has written in here that they will scale with you and your Paragon level. So, this is an improvement, of course.
One thing for me in particular with the Conduit Shrine is it's not just a function of it doing more damage. I don't like the way that the Conduit Shrine works. I feel like if they wanted to keep the Conduit Shrine as it is, where it takes away the power of your character.
What I just said it transforms you into another thing. It doesn't let you play your character. He's saying it too. We are hitting in I don't know, in resonance.
Then I think that they should make it work way better. I think you should just move way faster and you should just zap everything for 30 seconds and just...
I have a better idea for you. And I know you have this idea too. Just delete the fucking thing out of the game.
Destroy everything. Just turning up the damage here doesn't really do it for me, if I'm being completely honest. Now here came kind of the $1 million question. What events are you going to release in the mid-season that are going to make us want to come back and play? And they're bringing back the old event that they had, the Red Cloak Tour from last year, and the Mother's Blessing buff for...
I don't remember what the Red Cloak or even is, So maybe it is some bullshit. The Mother's Blessing is a buff. It is cool to have it, but it is nothing that is going to change your life.
For like XP and stuff that we get every time. And they have a welcome back booster, which is going to be good, I guess, for the super casuals, because the welcome back booster gives you all of the altars of Lilith. But any even kind of remotely serious player of Diablo in the last year and a half has collected the altars of Lilith by now.
That is true. I have them, but this will be cool for people that don't have them in hardcore. You could claim this in hardcore, and if they don't allow you to claim this on hardcore, people are going to be pissed. Having a welcome back booster is a good idea in theory because, oh, welcome back, come back to us, whatever. But if the game is not worth it, it doesn't matter if you give people the altars of Lilith for free. Because what are they coming back to? To an overpowered spirit board that clears the whole game in one day and you don't have nothing else to do. With no real end game. That is what they are coming back to. It doesn't matter that you give them the altars of Lilith for free.
So this is just, it's like for anybody like watching the stream or watching my YouTube, if any of you are watching this, there's probably almost none of you that don't have your altars of Lilith, because if you're just consuming Diablo 4 content, then you should probably have them by now, unless you just absolutely hate collecting them.
Correct. This is exactly.
So an event that we already had before, and a buff that we've already had 100 times, and the welcome back booster that has nothing to do with the audience that I'm talking to almost entirely. I'm struggling to find how I'm supposed to get excited for the mid-season event.
That's anything, brother. You don't get excited for the mid-season event. I know. I watch Rax a lot. I like Rax a lot, and I watch his stream a lot, and I watch all his videos. And I know that events are a sensitive topic for him because he has said several times, events is one of the things that Blizzard needs to improve. I am willing to give them ideas. I am willing to work with them for free to make better events. And they go and they release bullshit events like the Halloween one that even was an event, brother. So he's again getting pissed at the events right in here, brother. Oh, my dude.
They had a Q&A. They're gonna.
He looks like I didn't want to say this before, but he looks like disappointed about this campfire chat, and I understand because what we have seen so far is like a nothing burger. Like they could have done nothing and it was the same. They are doing nothing. If they think that what they are doing is something, they are completely mistaken. This is nothing.
To make maxing the codex powers easier, because a lot of people.
This is the main thing that I think this needs. But is this going to be with this mid-season update or for Season 7? Because if it is for Season 7, I told you guys, I know for a fact, not because I talked with them, because of course not, but it is obvious they have to fix this for Season 7. But I am hoping that they do it for the mid-season, because the game needs it right now. So let's see if he says if it's going to be right now or in Season 7.
Don't know, the ancestral has 5 extra tiers, but when you get a non-ancestral and it's maxed, it shows it that it's maxed, but it isn't maxed. And then the ranges of the ancestral go from the bottom of a non-ancestral to 5 tiers higher, which is why it makes maxing them so impossible. I think they said that this change is coming in Season 7. If I
fuck that, brother. Bro, how hard that can this be, my dude? Just adjust the number in the thing. How hard can it be, dude? Why wait months for something that it will be awesome right now? I don't get them, brother. I don't get them, my dude. It is getting one of these max codex powers is like orders of magnitude harder than getting an Uber unique, by the way. A dropped Uber unique. I am not even saying like crafting an Uber unique. Like getting a drop, the exact drop that of an Uber unique you want is orders of magnitude easier than getting one max codex of power for your build. It doesn't have to be a specific one, just one that you want to use. Nah.
Remember correctly, so it's not even going to happen now. They're not planning to change the grind to 300. A lot of people have said that it's very daunting. Another issue that they
I think that the 300 thing is fine. I know that maybe some people don't agree with me, but I will tell you why it's fine. After 250, that is when the real grind starts. You basically don't get much power from this. Like, you already unlocked everything you wanted from the Paragon board. That is cool. After that, it is just little stuff. So you don't get much power for each extra point. But you are always gaining experience, and you always have in the back of your mind that you are earning something by killing monsters. One complaint from a lot of people was that when you got to level 100 before, you felt like if you kept killing monsters and grinding and doing stuff, you felt like you were wasting your time because you weren't progressing your character. That is why they did this change. They put 300 far away, so you never actually reach it unless you are insane, like playing 18 hours a day, and you are always progressing. And you are not extracting much power from it, so for the Giga Blasters, it doesn't really matter that much, and you don't feel like they have an advantage over you. So I have to say that I think they did cook with this one. In my opinion, they cooked with this one because they addressed a pain point for the audience that was not progressing the character at level 100, and they did it in a way that makes sense and that doesn't provide an extra insane amount of power, and you can be satisfied not reaching 300. I didn't reach 300 and I am satisfied. I don't care. My opinion. Maybe I am wrong.
Didn't really talk about is, in my opinion, it's not very rewarding either. And it doesn't need to be rewarding in terms of character power, but the cosmetics there aren't really there either. So.
Oh, I agree with this. I agree with this. Like, I don't want it to be rewarding in terms of power, because then the Giga Blasters that have the time to actually get to 300 are going to actually have an advantage, and that contradicts what I just said. But if you are going to get an incentive to do this massive grind, which would be cosmetics, like I got to 300, I want a cool mount, I want a cool armor, I want a cool, I don't know, an aura, a portal, and they give you nothing, because I saw the mount that they give you for 300. It is like the same mount you already have with some stains. I don't know. It is awful. It sucks. It is ugly as fuck. Nobody wants to ride that mount. So there is not an actual incentive to get there. Because what is the incentive? Power, you are not getting it, which is fine. But again, it's not an incentive because you are not getting power. So the incentive will be the cosmetics, and there are no cosmetics, and the ones that are there suck. So yes, it is not. There is no incentive in here. It is not rewarding, as he's saying. So I agree with Rax in this one. But the system of grinding to 300, because it is not a necessary grind, I do agree with. I like, and I think they could with that one.
Yeah, I guess that's the way that they're going with it. They said bottleneck materials will change in Season 7 if you don't have your rawhide or something, but not drastically. And they said, like, with the...
I haven't had problems with materials, so no opinion on this one. Every time that I want something, I have it. The only thing that you have to farm for are off the side, and that is the way it is supposed to be, that you target farm off the side, or in the Infernal Horse, or in Nightmare Dungeons, or in the Undercity, and... outside from that, I don't feel like I am lacking materials. So I am cool with this. I know that at the start of the season, some people had troubles with the rawhide and the iron chunks. But apparently they hotfixed that, and it is working fine right now. So if they are even going to improve it, not drastically, but an improvement, I am fine with that too.
Mid-season patches, like, don't expect new content pieces. So, you know, we're going to get like these kind of events that we've had before. Don't expect new things. The new things will be on the season.
It has always been like this. Tell me a big mid-season update. None. The biggest thing they have done is like when they release the rings that used to be malignant hearts, and they convert them into rings that were uniques. Like, that was the biggest thing. Or when they release some vampiric powers as legendary aspects in the mid-season. Those are the biggest things. But that is not really like new insane content. But at the same time, they were something to look forward in the mid-season. Now that they are saying this, if they are not even doing that in the mid-season, the the fall of players is going to be even harder after the season starts. Like, you will have the spike at the season start, everyone enjoys the season, but knowing that there is not going to be anything cool in the mid-season, you are going to see that drop, that insane drop, because there is no incentive to keep playing this bullshit. Introducing something in the mid-season, even if it is not something insane, even something as simple as the unique rings that we just mentioned, or those legendary aspect, was enough to bring back a little bit of people, or to keep a percentage of players keep playing and not quitting. So this is a weird decision. Maybe they want to focus more on big releases and redirect those resources to big releases for season. But then I want the seasons to be big, to hit hard. I don't want disappointing seasons up in this bitch.
Launches. So they are trying to fix all the crashes from the engineering team.
That is,
they will look at changes for tempering, but they didn't seem like they were going to do anything currently. And they hinted very strongly that the armory is coming in season 7.
Please, very needed. I have everything on my necromancer. I want to try another build, but there is no way in hell that I go and I go through all the bullshit, like getting the legendary aspect, going to all the board and doing all of that. If I do that work, I am not switching back. I just commit to the new build, right? And if the new build sucks or I am not liking it, I am not having fun. What? Getting all the world to go back? Fuck that. We need the armory system, because even games where it is easier to respect, like WoW has the loadout system. So in a game like Diablo 4, when respecting takes a long time, because you have to go through the skill tree, you have to go to the Paragon board, you have to go to the legendary aspects, through the uniques, through the tempering, through the master working, through hunting from the enchants in the affixes. Like, this takes a long time just switching up your build, bro. We need the armory, 100%.
So they did say that the patch notes coming out next week for the mid-season thing will be much more in detail than these things that we see
they
here.
Always say that, and they are always stupid. The patches. The patch notes are going to be insane, and they end up being just a nothing more.
So I will read them. I will cover them. I can make a tier list or something how I think it's going to be.
Please,
but if I'm being completely honest, this campfire chat has kind of taken the wind out of my sails for the mid-season thing.
I completely agree with this. Now that I have been, it's like I am getting the vibe like, was this it? So they did a campfire chat to say this. You could have said this in a Twitter post, bro. You didn't need a campfire chat. This is bullshit. This is nothing. And I was being really positive about the game. You guys know that I always have criticisms towards things that I want to see improve. But I was being positive in the direction of the game. But this is nothing. This is nothing. I really hope the Season 7 announcement next week is insane, because they can kill all the momentum. If that update sucks, they will kill all the momentum for the game. And in a moment where you will have PoE 2 early access come out next month, you don't want to kill the momentum right now, because you will kill your fucking game. Because we know, we don't even have to wonder. We know that PoE 2 is going to be insane and people are going to love it. We know. Brother, we know this. We know this. By the way, guys, expect me to load a lot of videos about PoE 2. I am a new gamer, a new player for PoE, so you will have with me the perspective of a new interacting with PoE 2. So I will have all this journey. So join me in this journey, my dude.
I do think it is positioning Season 7 to be a much better version of the game. But probably the most disheartening thing to me was just talking about how we're just tightening up what they have. I really hope that they didn't mean this for like the next several months and seasons, that we're not going to get anything new.
I hope the same. I hope they are meaning that they want to tighten these systems, but they are on top of that introducing new systems with the season, because the season has to have a new season theme. And if the season theme is good, it has to stick with the game. For example, the Infernal Horse is now a new endgame activity, and they were the Season 5 activity, so they can stick around. The Rare Walker, nobody likes it, so you can remove the Rare Walker. Get it out of here. But keep giving me new stuff, and we decide if we want it or not after that.
I hope that that's not what they meant, and I hope that maybe they just meant it for the mid-season buff, but they reiterated it a couple of times. So, yeah, I'm still here really, really hoping that Diablo gets a real end game.
Brother, he's saying it, and I uploaded a video a couple of days ago talking about this. That the end game is lackluster in Diablo 4. There is a big problem with Diablo 4 end game. I am not going to repeat myself, and it is a long topic, but he also knows it, brother. And I feel like vindicated when someone like Rax, that knows about the game a lot, that blasts the game a lot, has similar opinions to me, right? Like I say, oh, brother, I am not the only one that thinks this.
I'm just begging for it. I hope we can get some info in Season 7. The armory is going to be really cool. I do really want that, but that is... Yeah. I mean, that should have been in the game a long time ago, right? So it's hard to get excited for it.
Yeah.
Not trying to be a negative Nancy here, but...
No, you are not being a negative Nancy, brother. Fuck the people... I hate this as a content creator myself, and I see the comments sometimes. There are people that think that because you complain about the game, you are being negative and you can say anything or whatever. No, brother, we can. Who is going to doubt that Rax loves the game? Rax loves the game, though, brother. He wants the game to be the best version it can be. He's not being a negative Nancy because he's criticizing something that is obviously flawed, so the developers hear the feedback and improve the game. If you think that he's being negative and he shouldn't say this, you are a pussy. That is the truth. That is the truth. If you say, oh no, nothing is happening, then nothing improves. They keep driving the game into some bullshit. No. We have to criticize. We have to say this is like this and this is like this, so they improve it. So you are not being a negative Andy at all in here, my dude. I support you completely. So, yes, guys. This video was awesome by Rax. It was 9 videos and I have been yapping here for 30 minutes. And there is a lot of stuff that I wanted to say that I didn't say because I said this is going to be 1 hour. I will just do another video. At least I will go do one more video talking about the philosophy that I think, talking about the way that I feel they are handling the game and how I don't like it. But aside from that, the Campfire Chat appears that it was really disappointing. A nothing burger, nothing really was announced, nothing to be excited about. Let's see if they bring it back with the Season 7 update. And if they don't, they will kill all the momentum. And we are getting PoE too soon, so it will be very bad for the game. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Rax did a great job with the video. Thank you very much, my brother, with this video. And yes, guys, let me know in the comments below what you think about all of this. Do you think this was cool? Do you think it sucked? Let me know everything that you think about all of this, brother. I love reading comments, even when they don't agree with me. You are free to say anything, brother. Also, remember to like the video, to subscribe to the channel, all that cool stuff. Help me out, my dude. Guys, thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. God bless you. And remember, don't be afraid ever, because this is just a ride.